A hero in action. First at 5, dramatic moments of 2 law enforcement officers rescuing a kidnapped child from the suspect's car. Those men in uniform are thankful they were in the right place at the right time. Good evening. I'm Diana Davis. The child is okay, and tonight we're hearing how the situation played out in the words of the heroes. It all began when a child was kidnapped from a Mammoth Spring restaurant on Saturday morning. A Hardy police officer and Sharp County Sheriff's Office sergeant stopped the vehicle and located the suspect who stole the child and a man holding the child in the passenger seat. Just before the driver drove away, Sergeant Bryce Trivett was able to grab the child and get it to safety. Our Hayden Savage spoke to him and has the story in a K8 News exclusive interview.
I'm gonna grab him, get him.
Man, it was just like, is this really happening? You know, it warmed my heart knowing that I just saved that baby's life, and maybe one day she could get to tell her story.
Sergeant Bryce Trivett being called a hero after saving a child from a kidnapping incident on Saturday.
I'm just sitting at home, you know, playing with my kids, and then my phone rings, and it's Captain Josh Williams. He tells me that that there's been a baby kidnapped in Mammoth and that they were traveling towards the Hardy area.
Trivett said he approached the vehicle and knew he had to act.
And I approached the passenger side and noticed the baby in the passenger's arms. And I asked him to roll his window down, and he rolled his window down, and I asked him to hand me the baby, and he kind of seemed nervous.
In this video, you can see on the passenger side, Sergeant Trivett convincing the child in the passenger seat to go with him, and he knew his chance to grab the child was closing after looking at the driver.
He looked at me, and I could see it in his eyes that he was fixing to take off. And so I seen him reaching for the gear shifter, so I just made the decision to reach inside and grab the baby, hoping that it was a good outcome.
The sergeant said instinct and training took over in the situation, making sure the child was safe.
And when I realized I was in that situation, I was like, you know, we've got to get this taken care of and got to get that baby safe. So I was, you know, that was my only focus was to get that baby out of that vehicle.
And when he got home on Saturday evening, he gave his kids an extra hug.
And obviously all I could think about after the saving of the baby was, you know, I've got kids at home that obviously it could have been one of them. And I'm a kid fan anyway. I love kids.
Now, one arrest has been made in this case. Charlie Martin of Woodland, Mississippi, faces multiple charges. He's being held in the Sharp County Detention Center. Sheriff Russell said Martin is the father of the abducted child, and this is an isolated incident. The second suspect in the incident has not been located.